Hi there, welcome back to JD Answers. Today I have another dashcam installation, and today is the Chortau dashcam installation. So what we're going to do now is we're going to figure out where we're going to put the mount. And usually the best place is on the rear view mount, the mount itself, which is centered to the window shield. And that's pretty much where you want to do it. Now, if you want to view it, in which most of us do, especially with the screen like this, we want to put a little bit lower, just that way the dash cam is visible underneath the rear view mirror. So that's what I'm going to do. But the first thing we need to do is take off this clear plastic here. All right, I'm at the center of the rear view mirror, and I'm just going to go down about 2 inches and then push in and then push up with that mount. And this thing here, again, is just push up. That's all you got to do. All right, here we go. This mount one more time. You see it? Just push up. All right, now we're ready to screw in the dash cam into the mount. And you just hold it steady and turn the dash cam. All right, now you can see the whole thing turning. So this is the time where you get the camera, you hold it still, and then you do the tightening knob right here. You tighten it to where it's straight. And then you could go ahead and tighten this part right here. And I'm tightening it up. Let's see. All right, there it goes. It's on there. So now all we got to do is start the wiring. Now this is pretty much firm in place. You can move it around, but it's going to be firm where it won't move, especially with the cars moving. All right, the first thing I always like to start with is the power cable, which is a mini USB cable right here. So whenever you're ready to install the power cable, what you want to do is untangle it all. And that way it's not pulling the cord down, and you can start routing the wire. And the reason I like to do the power cable first is so I can make sure this works. And of course, you always want to test it when you get it, unbox it, plug it in, make sure it works. But this is what I like to do first, so I'm going to go ahead and install this one. All right, I got the cable and I'm just simply going to plug it in. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the power cable and I'm going to go to the left side of the rear view mirror mount, which is towards the driver's side. And I'm going to go straight up from there, because what this is going to do is the mount for the rear view mirror is going to hold the cable for us. I'm going to grab the cable and I'm going to put it right here. And what it is between the window and the headliner, there's about 1/4 to 1/8 of a space in there. And what I want to do is just simply push it in with my fingers to go inside there. And some places are easy to put it in, like this side right here, compared to this one's a little bit tighter. So then what I do is work my way towards that area. All right, I'm going to pull some of the cord back and then push it in. And it's going in real easy now. So now what I'm going to do is go all the way to the A pillar, which is that right there. That's the A pillar. I'm going to grab the wire with my right hand and push it towards the A pillar, which is right here. And then with my left hand, I'm simply going to tuck it in. There it is. That's how easy it was. It's already in there. So now what I'm going to do is work on this side. Now most newer cars have a separation here where you could pull this off, or you could get the wire and you put it right in there and you push it in with your fingers. You just guide it in there and then you could go down. This one's an older car, so this piece is all by itself. So what I'm going to do is, because all these are just clips, everything in the car is just clips. So I'm just going to pull this off. Oh, you can see how easy that was already. To pull this off and then you can see it there. So what I'm going to do now is run the wire on the other side now to the out. All right, now it's on the outside. And then I'm just going to simply hold it and push this back in. And now I can work on this side. All right, from this point, what I'm going to do is, since this is out, I'm just going to run it all the way down here between the dashboard and the kick plate down there. And you can see how the wire's inside. And since the wire's going down, all I got to do is put this back now. All right, there it goes. Just had to make sure the wire was inside there. So from here, I'm just going to run it between the dashboard and the door, the weather strip, and it's already in there. Now I could do is just work this into the kick plate here. See these tabs, how easy they come out? That's how your vehicle is too. All right, now let's work on the inside. So from this part, on my car, there's this little screw, and some have tabs, and most cars, actually this is the first one where I ever had to remove something to put the wire behind the carpet. Normally they just go in there with no problem. But this one's a little different. This is an older car, and they must take pride on this carpet or something because they put this stuff in there. All right, so what I'm going to do is push this in, and this thing's going to come out. So what I'm going to do is pull this back out, and this is going to free this up, and it might just come out completely because it's just snap-ons. Again, this is the only car this has happened where I have to put it like this. There it goes. It's open, and you see this carpet, how it's behind that screw. Never seen that before. This is the first time. So I'm going to just keep on working with the cord, putting it behind the carpet. All right, so I'm good there. I'm going to push this back. And the only thing that's holding this is this trim here and the screw. That was it. That's all these cars are. They're all just plastic tabs. All right. That's what I like. Everything goes where it's planned, where it goes. Woohoo! Put this back in there. All right, it's in there, no wires. Now before we move on to continue this, let's go ahead and plug it in. And where we're going to plug it in is right there with that open slot. So I got my power socket, the power outlet, and we're going to put that in there. And there you go. Now we could continue on with the cord, and that way if we have any slack, we'll be behind here. It won't be on top of the headliner. But the headliner still has a lot of space. So what I'm going to do is continue with the cord. Putting it behind the carpet. And right here, it looks like there's a lot of carpet, so I'm going to pull that out. And go behind there. Again, try to work with one hand. All right. The slack's going behind there. There it goes. It's all in and no cords visible. And even if they were, you can't see them from this point of view because this is how the person sits. You won't see nothing. So we are good. No cords visible. Now let's go ahead and work on the rear camera. To install the rear cable, just like we did the power cable, what you want to do is unwind the whole cable. That way it's not pulling the cable down. Get your rear HDMI or mini HDMI cable and push it in. And then what we're going to do is, just like we did the power socket, is we're going to work our way up, but this time we're going to go towards the passenger side and work our way up around the mount. Here we go. Again, just like we did there. So I'm going to get the cable, hold it with my left hand, and with my right hand, I'm simply going to tuck it underneath. Now what I'm going to do is take this piece off. That way we could continue routing the wires to the back. Now again, the wires, we're not going to go down. This time we're going up. All right, since we're at this point here, And again, rather than going down, we're going to go this way. So what I'm going to do is this B pillar. The B pillar separates the front seat to the back seat. And I'm going to use that to hold the wire for me. All right, so you can see where we're at. We're going from the A pillar to the B pillar, and this is the B pillar. The B pillar separates the front seat to the back seat. And I'm going to use the B pillar to hold the wire for us, and that way we could close this part down. All right, got it in there. It's pinched in. And there you go. So now what I got to do is just push this in, and then with the slack, I could just pull it back like this. You see that, how it went like that? So use the B pillar and when you work into the back seat to hold the wire for you. That way, all you have to do is simply just close this area off. All right, got a little bit more slack, and I'm gonna close this up. There you go. That's how easy it is. Now let's work to the back seat. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue routing the wire. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work it to the C pillar. Now this is the B pillar, this is the C pillar, and that's closest to the back window. All right, so what I'm going to do is simple. It's just like we did the front. We're just simply going to, with the left hand, hold it. And the right hand, we're simply just going to tuck it in. Just keep on going all the way to the end as much as possible. Now, most new cars, the newer cars, they have a separation right here. And then all you got to do is wrap the wire around the B pillar. And then from this point, you just continue on as we're doing it all the way down as much as you can to the end. But however, when we get to this point, okay, you see that separation there. Now we got to go inside the car because we're going to go to the back seat. But this piece right here, we got to take this off anyway because the wire needs to go behind there. So let's go ahead and work on that. And you see how easy that was? Because these are all like snap-ons. And that's it. We'll take that one off. And we're going to route the wire inside. And that way the wire's inside. And we could simply just push this back in there. But we've got to make sure the wire's in there. Because we're done with this piece. And this piece is done. So we continue working towards the C pillar. I'm going to continue running the wire. Since this part's loose on the inside, I'm going to run it between this plate and the weather strip. And from this point, we're going to work our way in there. Now this is loose already, and if it's not, these are all snap-ons. You can just move it and it'll separate. And now it's behind the seat. So what I'm going to do is put all this back. Now what we're going to do is move the seat down. So we're going to grab our wire, put it on the outside for right now, so we can move this seat down. Now, if you can move the seat down, great. That's where you're going to go into to route your wires. If not, you have to run them between the trim and the back seat. And there'll be an area behind there where you can work your way into the trunk area. All right, there's the seat down. And that's where we're going to go into to route a wire. Now this piece right here is very loose because this is an older car. But even if yours wasn't, again, these are all snap-ons. You could just remove it. So I'm going to get this seat, push it up a little bit, and I'm going to route the wire in there. I'm just going to push it in there. Then my other hand, work our way to the other side and see if I could get it. But I need more slack before I can do that. So I'm pretty much going to push everything in there as much as I can and go farther as I can. Here it is. And actually, I just realized I could move this up because remember, these all snap in and out. It's all in. Now let me show you the inside. So what I'm going to do is continue running the wire, but I'm going to go underneath this carpet from the back seat. And that way, if we move the seat down like we just did, you're not going to see the cords. So I'm going to push the cords inside. This is inside the trunk area that way. Push the cords underneath the carpet. And let's do a better job of routing this one. There we go. Underneath the carpet. And now we can work our way into the trunk area. From inside the trunk, we're going to have to route the wire, and then we're going to come into the trunk area. Now, I already taken all this off so we can work in there, and that way you get a better view. So to get the wire from here to inside the trunk area, is we're going to put it behind this carpet area. So we're just going to pulse this down and work a wire up in there to come out to this area right here. All right, so I got the wire here. I'm going to just simply push this down. Push it behind there a little bit, and then have the wire come out here. And then what I need to do is clean up this area over here. So I'm going to pull it to get some of the slack out. All right, that means I pull too much when it starts coming down. And then there's some wire down here. Again, we're going to push it behind the carpet, and you won't be able to see anything on the inside or the outside. All right, what I'm going to do is use these secure ties, and I'm just going to secure it to this cable that goes up. I'm doing it just following the path of this cord. And you don't want to have this very tight on here. You want to make sure this is loose because this is a trunk release. Now whatever is left here will go inside this trunk area. So I'm good here. So I'm just going to do is cut these things off. Before we move on, let's go ahead and attach the adhesive. Now these work great. You don't have to use those screws only if you want to. At first I used to use the screws, but now I don't. I'm going to start one side here. Now from that point, I'm going to go ahead and just take off the other side. And now we're ready to stick on the dash cam, the rear one. And I always have it centered to the license plate. And just make sure the area is clean. And you could just mount it right where you need it. Just make sure it's straight. And I'm just going to push up. Push it and push, push. Now what you want to use is your license plate light to route the wire inside, because most cars will have an opening that goes all the way to the inside of the trunk. This has the little screwdriver part, and I'm going to screw that. Here it is. I opened it up. You see how it's coming off? That's your opening. That's where you're going to put the wire in. All right, we're going to put it inside. There you go. And all you got to do now is put this license plate back. All right. Push this part in first. And push the center in. All right, and all we got left is just this tab right here. I'm just going to push that in. All right, there you go. Now we can work on the inside. Now what we want to do is tap into the reverse light. That's where we want to go into. So what I'm going to do is hold this and open it, and you can see exactly where the terminal is. And it's coming from this blue wire here. You see this blue tab? That's the wires we need to get into, because I've done this already before. So this is the one I had on before, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So all I have to do is take it off. All right, what we're going to use is T-taps, and you can see one right there. And you can see how it breaks the insulation, and that way it can make a connection with the copper inside. Now from there, we close that up, and then you can insert a terminal in there. So let's go ahead and do that, but that's how you do it. You make sure the teeth of the T-tap is around the wire, and then you simply just close it. Now to close it, you just get some pliers and you just close it down and then let go, and it'll tighten it up by itself. So what I'm going to do next is take a lot of this insulation off. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the wire and I'm going to fold it probably about 3 times. There you go, it's 3 times there. And then what I do now, and the reason I'm doing this is so that when I put it in the terminal, it'll be thick enough to hold. There you go. So I'm going to hold it with one hand and I'm going to put the wire in it with the other. And you could probably see the wire coming in and out there. And I'm just going to tighten down on it. And I'm going the other side and do the same thing. I'm going to tighten it up too as well. And then what I'm going to do is do a simple tug to make sure it's in. And you see how it's coming out? That means it's tight. So I know I have a connection in there. So this silver part right here has to go in between there. There's an opening there. So what I'm going to do first is just put it in there manually like this. All right, and then I'm going to move up this protective covering and push it around there. Here's a closer look, how you cannot see the silver part on both sides. All right, so we are done. We have connected it to the tail light. So what I'm going to do next is put these 2 connections together. And again, like I told you last time, all we have to do is twist and eventually it'll fall in right there. All right, it's connected. So all we got to do now is put all these wires together. So what I'm going to do is just get these wires and I'm just going to hold them up here, all the slack. I'm going to get the secure tie and just put it all around there. So this part's done. So all I got to do is put this cover on. So let me do that, and then we could go ahead and test this dash cam. All right, we're going to go ahead and start the vehicle. There it goes. It's starting to turn on right now. All right, there's a screen, and you got the picture in picture. The main picture is the front camera, and the picture in picture is the reverse camera. All right, let's go ahead and take this for a drive. The camera may move a little bit because it's right next to the shifter. All right, and you can see the grid lines, and this is the grid lines to help you because now it's the backup camera, because the grid lines come up when the backup camera comes on. So when you reverse or you got somewhere close, this will help you guide you when you're reversing in. All right, so far so good. Reversing. And if you're interested in this product, I'll put links in the description down below for purchase. All right, we're back in drive and we're gonna go forward. Now, if this video was helpful for you, please give me that thumbs up. You know I appreciate that from you. If you have any questions about this dash cam, leave them in the comment section down below and I'll get back to you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and select all notifications for all upcoming videos, because I got more videos of this dash cam coming out. I got the unboxing, I got the menu, and I got the review for this dash cam as well. And as you can see here, it's working with no problems. The front camera and the reverse camera are working. All right, guys, we did it. We installed it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.